Right, let's move to, I'm glad to tell you that away from the U.S. election and back to Nigeria, where President Bola Tinubu has expressed commitment to Nigerians and the diaspora as he calls for investment in achieving a prosperous nation. The president made this call at the 7th Nigerian Diaspora Investment Summit, which opens in Abuja. And of course, talking about that with me on the show this morning is, of course, the coordinator, Nigerian Diaspora Summit Initiative, Badewa Adejugbe Williams. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Good morning.
I hope I'm able to pronounce your name well.
It's okay. It's Badewa Adejugbe Williams. Yes.
Okay. Pardon.
You are very close.
Okay, let's look at the challenges that diaspora is faced when, in terms of, investing back in the country.
All right. One of the things that most diaspora Nigerians complain about is, of course, corruption, instability, insecurity, lack of infrastructure. Now, all these challenges are opportunities. So how do we harness the diaspora in developing initiatives, reforms, policies, and investing in Nigeria and encouraging trade and investments? So even though they have challenges, we know that putting heads together, we can proffer solutions. And the way to proffer solutions is to come into the motherland, have a discuss amongst ourselves, look at all the other avenues that we can come in order to enhance the socioeconomic status and also the social welfare of our people in Nigeria. So even though we see this as challenges, they also present opportunities for growth.
I've been to a couple of your the NIDCOM programs, and I see how, the NIDCOM chairman, she's trying to engage.
She is engaging.
Yeah, engage the diasporans on the importance of investing in the country. But how do you think that, this can boost the economic resurgence that we have in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you so much for asking that question. Most often when we look at foreign direct investments, we're looking at investment into the big organizations, big corporations. We're looking at like public-private partnerships. But the real pivotal percentage of the population that are really responsible for driving the economic activities in Nigeria are the entrepreneurs, the micro, small, and medium enterprises, which are the ones we're focusing on. If we can focus on these entrepreneurs, we know that they will be creating the jobs, they will be earning sustainable income. The remittances that are being sent to Nigeria by Nigerians in the diaspora to their families can now go beyond just taking care of their social needs. So if we invest in businesses, these businesses will create jobs, they will pay taxes. The taxes will go towards developing the infrastructure in the nation. And the administration, we're glad to hear that they've been coming up with a lot of reforms and policies to combat the insecurity and also to combat corruption. So, case in point, the release of some of the hostages, arresting some of those insurgents, that is really comforting for us, especially the agri sector. It's the sector where we have a lot of interest in investing. And some of those who have actually gained investors into the agri-businesses, they're telling us they have drones now, that patrols, and they have support from the Nigerian government, from security. So those are all very encouraging. So we know that the administration is doing something about it. It's encouraging us, and we're seeing a lot of results, a lot of impacts. So when we impact one business, the business, we're also telling them pay it forward. Okay, as we impact you, do so for others, and that way we can explode.
In the course of my conversation with people, even while I covered them, the most important of that conversation is the enabling environment, which is, of course, plays a larger percentage. If I want to invest in my country, for example, if I'm outside the country, I want an enabling environment where I know that if I invest, I can get a return of what I'm investing. How best do you think that Nigeria is doing in terms of creating an enabling environment for investors outside this country? Because don't forget, it's money, and they want to get profit.
Definitely. With the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment and its departments and agencies, NIPC for due diligence. We always encourage, we are encouraging the government to continue to foster enabling environments for investors to come into Nigeria. And I know that the ministries and the departments and agencies are doing their part in making this happen. But we also have to appeal to the Nigerians themselves. You know, it's not a top-bottom approach, it's a bottom-top approach. That is the way we need to look at it. Let's look at ourselves, at our own practices. And of course, the due diligence. I know there are always fraudsters in every nation, not just in Nigeria.
Of course.
You know, so it's just the way for us to realize and know what we have to do. And we're really, really grateful for the new Minister of Industry, you know, because she's one of us. She has been with us from the Investment Summit from the onset.
Okay.
She has listened to the people. She was there when she was at PEBEC, in helping the administration back then for the enabling environment to let investors come into Nigeria. And she has been engaging, you know, with the diaspora investors. And of course, I have to also go back to NIDCOM. NIDCOM has partnerships with all these other organizations like ICPC, you know, AFCC, the Inspector General of Police. Those are the people that are critical in helping to ensure that investors are not defrauded. And of course, NIDCOM is also coming up with a platform where they'll have this way of aggregating and also doing their own due diligence on the investors and the entrepreneurs themselves.
Just in 30 seconds, I just want to ask you, how do we have a data on how business owners are getting to bring back home to invest?
NIDCOM has data, NDSI has data of those who have been impacted by NDIS.
Okay.
So we have that. We have all the success stories, they're cataloged. So, and they're also on our website. And for this year, even the information at this year's summit alone, it's more than astounding. We were hearing numbers. You know, we'll invest this in you, we'll invest that in you, we'll give you. And it's not just about money, it's also about technical investment, mentoring. So if you're in Nigeria and you have a business, you're looking for investors, be at the next NDIS.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It's really hard. It's really nice having to know that, okay, exactly, we can have this, you know. Nigerians really want to invest in their country and know that, okay, they can get something in return. And that's a big one for them. And I know that, you know, with the things that the president and the NIDCOM chairman is doing, of course, they'll be able to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.